I'm nervous for this stream for some reason.
We
Okay.
haven't been here for a long time, maybe that's why.
Yeah, but we have a huge update for you. But while we wait for some people to get onto this live stream, we'll tell you about Mai's crazy little idea first.
It's
So,
not crazy. Well, it is, but I see so many benefits about my ideas.
okay.
You're rejecting it, but anyway. So I was looking recently at my Facebook page, and I my two dogs that my the dogs that I used to have. Well, I adopt them. So I still follow some of those pages, and recently I found a dog I fell in love with, and I was like, I really want to get this dog. It's a pretty small little thing. So I fell in love with it. So I went with Jordan and I was like, don't you want to adopt another dog? And we started talking about it because I'm so used to small dogs and those kind of dogs that all the time want to be with you. And so, anyway, that dog like literally had everything that I was looking for in a dog. So anyway, it was like, oh, I really want to have it, but we've been talking about it. It's not easy to make a decision that about it. What? What was that? Anyway, so right now we don't know what to do about it. We've been thinking a lot. We've been talking about, but we still don't know what are we going to do. So, do you think we should get another family member or not?
By,
So,
by the way, I just looked behind us and there's a giant grasshopper inside the house, right by the
oh,
window. Diana asked, "Do you still have Alaska?" Her name's Alaska. Just dropped the first day, but yeah, we still have her, and she's getting to be an old puppers. She'll be 13 the day after Christmas.
yeah, but sometimes when we go out, and I'm not talking about like going on a trip or something, just like going to the groceries or things like that. It's like she might be feeling kind of alone. So why don't we give her brother? But it's yeah, I know it's not easy. I perfectly know that it's a huge responsibility, but anyway, I fell in love. I hadn't had this feeling for a very long time. Anyway, I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it, but it happened.
Well, one day I'm gonna come home and there's going to be a second dog here,
Maybe.
but hop over to the questions here and answer a few questions while we wait for some more people to get on, and then we'll share the huge update with you. I'm so happy. It's insane. Cheryl says, you can take the small dog with you on your travels. I mean, traveling with a dog is always more difficult. So, like, for example, we want to go to Guadalajara, and I was looking at hotels today for Guadalajara, and a lot of them are pet friendly, but the pet fee at most of them is like $30 or $50 per dog per day. So I mean that basically makes it so you can't stay in hotels, at least not on the budget we're traveling on. And then Airbnbs, yeah, there's a lot of Airbnbs that are pet friendly, but like you click the pet friendly option and it probably reduces your options from 100 to 25. So you have a lot fewer to choose from for those pet friendly Airbnbs. And then, of course, like having a dog here and traveling around the country, well, then you can't take a bus because they put the dogs underneath where it's hot and there's no air filtration and it's just not a place for an animal to be. And then flying, I mean, I've never flown with Alaska, and she would have to go in the cargo hold. And I don't know, that's not something I really want to do either. So that leaves the option of driving your own car, which limits.
But
the
I mean,
distance we could
you've
travel.
done that. What I was telling to him is that you've done that harder, like in a very harder situation because Alaska is a medium-sized dog, and anyway, everything has gone perfectly fine. And I know it reduces a lot, like your chances to get an Airbnb or a hotel. But in this case, it was like, okay, it's a very small sized dog. Just, I mean, it's like the weight of it, it's 3 kilograms. It's like this size. And it's not going to roll more than this size. So it's like, yeah, but I'm not asking you to have a San Bernardo or something like that. It's kind of like a Chihuahua, but it's not a Chihuahua. So it looks like, but I was like, it's this size. It's a little thing. So anyway, I don't think it's that hard for me. It's easier to carry it
Uh-huh.
anywhere, even in a bag. You don't have to hold it on the floor. You just put it inside of the bag, and that's all. But anyway, I perfectly know that it's a huge decision, and it's not that something that must be like taken easily. So just happened. I felt excited, but anyway, I'm not going to rush on it. It's not that, as you said, you are going to arrive someday and there's going to be the dog here, because this is a decision that we might have uh, like spoken about it, like very, very deep, and like making the decision together.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, if you can see that, then you'll feel, anyway, okay, let's go over
But if you're
it.
just joining, the talk of getting a new dog is not the big news. We'll get to that in a few minutes after some more people hop on. But I'll head on over to the comment section again here. I think this is part of another question, but so it would help if you clarified if you were the one asking for loans for viewers. Yeah, if you follow the Facebook page, yesterday was it? I posted on there that I'm offering 8% on a 4-year loan because I'm trying to like make use of an early repayment discount in the sales contract from buying Tangerine Travels, as well as save on some interest. So yeah, that was me, and I've had quite a bit of interest in that because I'm offering a competitive rate. Uh, so yeah, if that's something you're interested in, you can email me. What breed of dog is it? Is that a Chihuahua?
It's not a Chihuahua. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, they can see it.
Look at this. It's so
It's
cute.
just cute because it
Ah,
has a bandana on. No, I'm just kidding.
it's so cute. A dog doesn't have to have any specific breed to be super cute and nice.
Have you actually met any digital nomads? If so, what do they do? Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, they have all sorts of different careers. I don't even know where to start. Some are coders, graphic designers. One recently had a crypto company. A lot have taught English online. Some are YouTubers or do social media or manage social media accounts for other people. All sorts of stuff. We have some guesses here.
Yeah, they might be talking about the dog when they say baby.
Oh,
So otherwise,
okay.
I don't think so.
What about Alaska? We still have Alaska. There was one previous time in her life that we brought home a second dog, and she was not happy about that. She would sit by the bowl of food just growling anytime the other dog came close. She did not like to share her food or the attention. Domizi, thanks for the first super chat of the night. Hey, Mike, get yourself a Sholo dog. What do you think? You already have one.
I have one, but now it's my mother's dog. So I don't want to take her, like, I don't take her like out of her house because she loves it. And we agreed that my Shola would stay with her. So that those kind of agreements can definitely not be broken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like I really want to have my dog, but on the other hand, I perfectly understand that Alaska is old. It might be a huge change, and maybe I'm looking at it at a very optimistic and pink vision of it, but it might be not that way. So it's just that okay, I'm not going to do stupid things. It's just I don't know. I just like that dog. Simple as that.
Mike asks, 8% return in 4 years? No, 8% every year. 8% APR, paid monthly. Sorry for the confusion. Does Alaska still get visitation? Visitation? I'm not sure what that's referring
Does
to.
Alaska still get visitation? What's that?
No more haircuts. Is this the announcement? No, but we'll get to the announcement like as soon as I get to the bottom of these comments, I think, because now we have 700 people on here between Facebook and YouTube. Carlton says, I would like to discuss sponsoring your channel. How do we connect for that conversation? Send an email to ourtangerinetravels@gmail.com and what your proposal is, what you want promoted, things like that. And then we'll talk about it if we can move forward with that. Okay, almost to the bottom of the comments. You're getting a pet tiger, not yet, but that would be pretty cool, at least for like a day.
You want to get a pet tiger?
I don't actually want a pet tiger.
I know. You said yes so easily.
Because it was a joke. Okay, but one more question and then we'll get to the big news, the huge update. Are there a lot of expat areas in Mexico? Yeah, I'd say quite a few. I mean, basically any place that's a popular tourist destination has also turned into a popular place for foreigners to live. But then also in the bigger cities, I mean, in every one of them, there's an expat population there. So whether that's here in Queretaro, in Mexico City, in Merida, or Puebla, or one of the many other population centers around the country, yeah, you're going to find a lot of expats. Depending on the city, you might have to like join expat groups to figure out where the meetups are and things like that. But yeah, there are. Okay, and now for the big news. Okay, so we shared with you a while back that Mai needed surgery. And she had a surgery scheduled for, it was actually yesterday, you would have had the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So on one of these live streams or somewhere on Facebook or YouTube, one of our subscribers reached out to us and he was like, hey, I'm a podiatrist in California. I've been doing this for many years. He has like 40 years of experience doing it. And he's like, I'm coming to San Miguel. I would really like to see Mai and make sure that she needs the surgery. Like give her an exam and make sure she needs surgery because this is a very serious surgery. So do you want to continue?
Well, he checked me. We went to San Miguel de Allende, and he checked my foot and told me that under his perspective, the surgery might not be needed. Unfortunately, I got a first MRI on July this year, and that MRI said that my ligament was partially broken.
And it wasn't a very good MRI. It wasn't very well taken according to a doctor here.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, if that's partially broken, it's one of the most important ligaments that. Sorry,
it's one of the most important ligaments that's in your foot.
That's in the foot, so maybe I need the surgery. So at that time, I was having a lot of pain, blah blah blah. So.
And if you don't know the backstory, she's been having pain for 4 years, and especially the last few months, she's hardly been able to walk, and she's had several different orthotics done here. Has tried many different shoes. gone to the doctor for it a number of times. But anyway, so we go to San Miguel. It's an hour away from here. He gives her an exam, but he doesn't have any of his equipment with, and we're not in his office. And at the end of that, he was like, honestly, I think I can treat you with conservative treatment. Uh, so, is there any way that you guys can come to California, come to my office, and get a new MRI done there, and then like I can treat you there, like get you in some new orthotics, get you in some quality shoes. Uh, She's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to work, and this is a very, very serious surgery. This is not 3 months recovery like you're thinking. This is more like a year-long recovery. So at this point, you're feeling super confused
Mm-hmm.
because you were like totally mentally prepared for surgery.
Yeah, I was already figuring out what I was going to do uh, about my workplace and whatever, because it was a huge decision. They had told me that it was going to take me like 4 to 8 months to recover totally. So I was super scared because it's like I cannot just stop my life. So anyway, we decided to get in a second MRI,
Well, but
but
before that, we actually went to another foot doctor here, a different one than who was going to do your surgery to get a third opinion. And basically, after he did an exam and knowing about our options, he was like, he basically said the same thing as the doctor in California. He's like, yeah, this is a really serious surgery and you want to avoid it if at all possible. And he said, I think you should go to California and give it a try.
so we did that.
Yeah. But after I learned that a surgery was potentially not necessary, some of you might know that I started a GoFundMe a few months ago because on one of these live streams we were telling you about the surgery that you needed and how it was pretty expensive, and a lot of you were saying, hey, start a GoFundMe, I'd love to contribute. So it was at this time I shut it down because thinking, okay, it's possible that a surgery isn't required, because before then I had it in my mind, okay, she needs a surgery. uh, but anyway, so we booked 2 plane tickets to California, and we went there, and we just got back home a couple of days ago from that trip. But yeah, his office is in Costa Mesa, so we went there. And do you want to tell them about how that went?
I got a second MRI that showed that I had no damage.
No ligament tear. There was just some liquid buildup.
It was a liquid at the tendon, but there was no ligament damage.
So when the
So-
doctor saw that, he's like, you absolutely do not need surgery. This is like 100% you do not need surgery with this MRI.
So I definitely have a flat foot. That's the truth. It's not that I don't have anything, I have it. My ligament, it might be a little loose. That's why, and all my ligaments are looser.
Like more
like
flexible
more
than normal?
flexible than normal. And I already knew that. But also, he told me something that nobody had told me before, that I had one of my legs is longer than the other one. So actually, I noticed that I was not working like I was not walking normally, and I had like lower back pain and things like that. But after that, I understood literally everything. So he did everything, and they after that I got my new orthotics.
Well,
Also,
that day you got an MRI.
I got an injection
Yeah,
inside of my joint.
it was a
inside of my-
cortisone injection.
inside of my ankle, and I was freaking out because I perfectly knew what was going to happen. So I was like, I really don't want this, and I told this to Jordan, and I
Like
was like,
if this was a foot, he had to put the needle like all the way through. It was a
Side to
skinny
side.
needle. But yeah, it was like all the way through her foot. And she said there was hardly any pain. But yeah, like he gave you another exam, watched you walk, and fit you for the orthotics that day, and then the orthotics were going to be sent off, and he paid extra to have them rushed.
Yeah, so that day it was a little bit hard because after the injection, I was feeling kind of like weird. My foot felt like
A lot of pressure
a lot of pressure
inside.
inside, so it was kind of uncomfortable. But anyway, I rested a lot that day, and the next day after that, he gave me my new orthotics, and immediately I started using it. I felt a huge difference.
You said the pain went away
The
immediately.
pain went
Like,
away, but also my posture changed. And that's something that today my mother told
improved,
me.
or
It improved totally. And my mother said like, oh, you look taller. And it's not that the orthotics are higher or anything like that. It's just I'm just feeling that my posture
you're standing
changed
up
for
a little
better.
bit, it's a little
Yeah,
bit
so
straighter.
I got new shoes after that with my new orthotics,
And these are specific shoes that the doctor recommends. Basically, he recommends them to all his patients. It's like the Asics Gel Kayano 28s or 29s. Or there's another one that's a possibility as well,
which
depending on
they're
what feels comfortable.
which they're called like stabilization shoes. So if you want to know a little bit about more about what's an stabilization shoe, let me know and I'll show you later.
But anyway,
It was a huge difference. But what I have to do next, because it's not this is over.
before we talk about next, I would love to share what happened when we went walking. Like, so she puts on the shoes with the orthotics, feels no pain immediately, and she hasn't been without pain for years, and hasn't been able to walk extended distances without pain for a very long time. So we went out for a walk along the beach, not on the beach. There was a path next to the beach, and I think that was a 50-minute walk, and there was no pain.
Yeah, exactly. I was so surprised actually. I was feeling my legs weird because of course like the position of my foot was completely different.
And you
But
have
no
to
pain.
you have to like you can feel the orthotics
I could
as you
feel
get
the
used to
orthotic.
them.
Yeah, I could feel the orthotic actually, but there was no pain.
And then another day we went out and walked around for a few hours, and again, no pain. So-
Yeah, that was really cool. I was like, oh, this is not happening because I was having pain for almost 4 years. And the last couple of months, I was having pain almost every day. So
Yeah.
even when I was not walking or standing, so it was like, what's going on here? Anyway,
So now no surgery is required, which is super awesome. But she still has to wear her shoes
but-
with orthotics basically all day, every single day, except when she's sleeping or showering for 3 months.
yeah, unfortunately, this is a lifetime commitment. So I don't have this surgery, but if I'm not responsible with my health or with my food and with my life, I'll need it someday. So basically, I have to use my orthotics forever. So I'm not able to walk without my orthotics, or right now for the next 3 months without my shoes. So a lot of people might think it's like kind of annoying. For me, doesn't matter because I perfectly like go for that instead for a surgery, and the injury and the flat foot is gonna be there forever. It's not something that it disappears with time, and that's all. So
Yeah.
if, for example, in the worst case, I stop using my orthotics and I do a lot of impact and whatever, I might need the surgery pretty soon because that's not
Yeah.
going to change. But if I use the correct shoes, if I use my orthotics forever, if I try to avoid impact like running and jumping and things like that, I'll be fine. My foot, of course, it can get a little bit more inflamed easily. Anyway, it's a huge difference. And what else? Well, when we arrived, actually, we were taking out Laska for a walk, and I started walking faster. I was not running; I was just walking faster, and we were in
Going
we were
uphill.
uphill, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling good. So I was like,
You started
I
like
was like
almost
holding
jogging.
Alaska, and after that I had pain for the next like 12 hours.
So it was like,
So
okay, I still need to be careful.
I understood that, not in a very good way, that I must be careful. I'm not completely healed. My foot is not 100% all right. So I'm not having the surgery, but right now I still have to be extra careful. So good news. I think it's a very good news. But yeah, if you want to know more about this, we are going to share more details.
Yeah. And by the way, like I want to share that with the GoFundMe, like that was to fund her surgery, so it didn't feel right just to like um, take people's money if like since she doesn't need surgery anymore. So I messaged everybody who donated on there and basically was like told them the story and said, "Hey, I don't feel right like giving your taking your money and giving it to her since she doesn't need surgery. So would you either like your money back or would you like it to be applied to the cost of this trip to California and all those expenses involved in that?" So that's the status on that. Okay, now I'm just going to hop over to the comments here and try to catch up with people. I'm scrolling pretty quickly because the doctor in Orange County, is he a foot doctor? Yes, he's a podiatrist. And if you're interested in seeing him, it's drdanielbank.com. His office is in Costa Mesa. I know a lot of uh, people watching live in the Los Angeles, San Diego area. So if you want to check him out, I posted his website in the chat just now. He accepts both cash clients and clients with insurance, and his prices are pretty good compared to most of the podiatrists around. And I mean, he fixed her, so so that's awesome. And you've had orthotics made here, but they're like the ones you got, the ones he
I
did
feel
got.
the way that they are made is completely different, like completely. So the first one I got, I felt good while they were like brand new.
Uh huh.
But after like 6 months, I couldn't feel the support at all. And after that, I got a second pair of it, and it was super painful. I couldn't
Yeah.
use it for more like a half an hour, and it was one of the most painful things I'd ever tried. So I was like, I literally cannot use this. It's impossible. But these ones, right now, I cannot feel them. They are
Hmm.
super comfortable. I
Yeah.
love them. It's like my foot just it's perfect over them. So last week I was just feeling them. Right now I don't feel them at all. So I think it was a really good decision on trying.
And something cool is like the ones she's gotten here only last for about 6 months, and he said these will last for years. Why don't you answer this, Mai?
No.
Do you think Celaya is safe to visit? It's one of the most dangerous cities in the country. In fact, I think by murder rate, it is the most dangerous. In fact, one day we were coming back from San Miguel, and because of traffic on a certain road, it was taking us through Celaya. And she was like, "No, don't go that way. Go the other way, even though it takes longer." Thank you for the super chat. Put your best foot forward. Mai, have you tried a chiropractor?
Yeah, I've tried. Actually, the one that treated me here, it's really good, but I still have that difference. So I think it's genetics because some members of my family had that same problem.
Linda asked, "Did you ever move? You were looking in different towns." Moved houses here in Queretaro, but didn't leave the city. Do you know if you have this?
No, I didn't. I have flat foot. Okay, let's just because I'm noticing something, and it's not cool. So a lot of people are making very bad comments of me right now, and I've
Uh-huh.
noticed a bunch of them. So please stop. Uh, if you don't feel comfortable being here, feel free to leave. I really don't want to be rude, but it's really, really hard to concentrate and it's really, really hard to share with you when I'm reading a lot of bad things about me right now. So if you don't like me, you don't have to like me, actually, but don't say that. Just be respectful. And that's all, because a lot of people cannot even imagine what's going on through our minds or whatever. And people might think that we don't care, but actually it hurts. So don't do it, please.
I'm gonna have to go through and see the comments later because I was scrolling really fast, so I didn't see those. Have you ever tried acupuncture? That's something I've never had any experience with.
I haven't. I feel like very interested on acupuncture. My mother tried it and she felt like amazingly after that.
Yeah.
But just the idea of having a lot of nails all over my body, it freaks me out. It scares me. So I might try it once, but right now I don't feel mentally prepared for that. So I already have an injection. I have to have blood test every 6 months. So like I really don't need more needles in my life right now.
Jonathan says, "She is a beautiful doll. You are a lucky guy." I know. Did you just try to bite me?
I'm a piranha.
Brad says, "My, it's okay. Don't let it affect you. You're so sweet and beautiful."
Thanks.
I'm just laughing because this is such a slang way to say basically the same thing. What is your favorite brand of beans? What a random question. Um, Licorice beans, Australian licorice beans. Those are delicious.
Those are not.
Someone else mentioning that you should try acupuncture. I was very nervous about the needles as well, but they are very tiny and it helped me out of chronic pain. Well, I mean, her pain's gone, like all but gone now. So basically,
Yeah. But maybe I should try someday. I mean, unfortunately, pain is a part of our lives, and I don't know. I will try it. So a lot of people are saying that they don't see negative comments. Let's explain you a little bit how this works. We have a banner, and we can see all the comments going like through the ones from Facebook, the ones from YouTube. So we're reading it as soon as we notice something that it's very disrespectful, we delete it and we blocked it. So that's one of the reasons why you might not notice those kind of comments. But anyway, if I'm saying this, it's because I'm reading it and it's hard. So I've been trying not to get like much more weight to those kind of things, but On the other hand, I've been struggling with a lot of things about my mental health right now. And anyway, I don't have to give much more explanations, but the only thing I want to ask is respect. Because I mean, nobody deserves to be like, be treated that way. So I'm just here sharing something. We decided to share all that stories because you are part of our family now, but don't just make this harder. We're trying to do our best.
Yeah, and I mean the people making it harder aren't part of our family, but they're just here being jerks. Cheryl asked, "You both agree that the toilet paper should go over and not under?" Absolutely. Like every time the roll, it should be coming off the top of the roll. It's way easier. It's so hard to find when it comes from under. Do you know
Like
what the toilet paper roll? Like here's the roll. It should be coming from this side, not from this side.
yeah, sure. I totally agree. Actually, I was thinking some minutes ago that in one of the bathrooms of our house, the toilet paper roll, it's like in this position, like lateral but back. And I was like, who the freak put that there?
I
Because
know.
if there's no toilet paper, you don't notice. So it's like, what a horrible thing. Imagine
it's
you go to the bathroom and there's no toilet paper.
it's so stupid. It's
You were
like
there.
below and down behind you, and it's like almost out of reach.
Yeah, and I was like, it never happened. But imagine that you are going to the bathroom and you are doing your stuff there, and you just turn and there's no toilet paper. That's a nightmare. But you cannot even notice it. So I was like, maybe we should just have more extra toilet paper there because you cannot notice what is it or what's happening with it.
James, thanks for the $10 super chat. Really
Thanks.
appreciate that. How was your Dia de los Muertos?
Different. Actually, that Dia de los Muertos, we were on our way back here.
Yeah, and it was a really long travel day. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, so normally, uh, in this case, I wasn't able to put my altar de muertos. That's something I really enjoy. For me, it's really meaningful. But we were going to be out, so I didn't do anything this year. But I really enjoy doing that. It's one of the days that I enjoy the most because for me, Dia de los Muertos, it's celebrating life. So it's not a sad day. It's like you remember the ones you love and that just passed away, but you celebrate their lives and the opportunity of being part of their lives. So for me, it's a very like nice moment. Anyway, I was a little bit sad because this year I couldn't even eat a pan de muerto. I'm super fan of pan de muerto. Anyway, when we arrived here, our landlord had left us some panes muerto. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to cry because it's my first pan de muerto of this year.
By
So
the way, pan de muerto
it's
is
like
it's a piece of sweetbread, not that big. It typically has like
sugar
two
and a
two
cross.
a cross of like two pieces of bread on the top, and then there's like sugar on the top of it typically. Here's a comment for you, a super chat.
Thanks. Ignoren los malos comentarios, a esas personas les gusta lastimarlos. Y si ustedes muestran sus debilidades, ellos sabrán más cómo lastimarlos. Show no weak. Yeah,
Mister.
Mister. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy to ignore them. I mean, it will. I hope it will be. But when you are not having like a very good time, you might have like 100 of good comments and just two like bad or rude comments, and that could feel super hurtful. So it's just that we can just let it pass by, but I don't think it's fair, because it's so easy for people just to talk and say whatever they want, but I said this before, and I keep like believe that this can be a very good community. So we are trying to help people the way we want to, and we are trying, and we like being super respectful with everybody. So we just want to be treated that way. We are not asking for more, so that's why.
Shandy, thanks for the $5 super chat. I've heard that Quentin Tarantino is a foot doctor when he's not making films. So if you need an alternative opinion, then he might be an option. I'm guessing he's going to be a pretty expensive podiatrist.
I know. We cannot afford it.
Okay, I'm looking for another super chat. Josovic, thanks for the super chat and for being a channel member. Really appreciate that. And there's no comment associated with your super chat, but I'll look for another message from you in case you have something. Oh, here's one right here. My wife and I have a dream to open a bed and breakfast in Queretaro. What areas would you recommend? I saw a nice house on your video, but it seemed to be in Orilla de Ciudad. I mean, a bed and breakfast in Querétaro. What do you think, Mai? Where would you put a bed and breakfast?
For example, Jardines de la Hacienda, it has become a very commercial neighborhood. So there are a lot of small restaurants like inside of the houses, and actually it's one of my favorite neighborhoods. Like to just go there and you just walk. It's super safe and it's pretty actually, and it's so close to Centro. Because going to Centro, I mean, it's amazing, but it's super expensive. So I definitely wouldn't recommend going to Centro. But actually, something that I think it happens here. It's no matter where you put like your restaurant, like you do it.
By the way, a bed and breakfast is a little hotel.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like, how do I describe it? A lot of times it's a house that maybe is split up into 5 rooms, kind of like what we stayed in San Miguel.
Yeah.
That would be like a bed and breakfast. And
Okay.
they'll generally provide a meal for you.
Okay, maybe I don't know. Because Juriquilla are good places. Jardines de Querétaro, it's a really nice area that it's close to Los Arcos and close to Centro. And I really like that. They have huge houses. Jardines as well, but like having that in mind might not be the best option.
If you have the money for it, maybe Centro, because I mean, a lot of the people visiting Querétaro, that's where they want to stay. Even though that wouldn't be my first choice to stay, now that I already know the city, now that I'm already familiar with the city, that's like where everybody looks. Like that's where a lot of people first look is Centro.
But for example, I think Corregidora, and I'm not talking about this like the street. I'm talking about the
municipality.
Municipality. It's actually right next to Querétaro, and it's cheaper. Sorry, but the noise effect. But anyway, it's practically right next to Querétaro. It's growing a lot. Like all that area of Pueblo Nuevo and Tejeda, and a lot of people are discovering now that area. And basically in 10 minutes or something like that, you are in Centro. So it's super close, it's cheaper, it's safe, and a lot of people is coming to this part of the city. So
would you say all of Corregidora is safe, or are there certain places you think are
or
safe?
Corregidora is safe. Yeah, actually.
Okay.
I know this area for a long time, and actually that's why a lot of people it's moving, and they are opening a lot of new business that were just in Querétaro. They are opening like new stores and things like that here in Corregidora because it's safe, because it's cheaper, because it's close to Centro, because right now with all the Cinco de Febrero,
The construction
of this new venue.
Basically, the highway going from Centro to Juriquilla.
From the
That's
south to
under
north.
that's under a major construction project right now,
And
and
it's
traffic is getting horrible, and it's going to be getting worse.
And it's going to take almost 2 years to finish it. So if you are planning to open something, you might think about that, because a lot of people right now are thinking too much about staying in a certain area. I mean, if you are living at the north part of Querétaro, you just stay there, because otherwise it's super hard right now to move from the north part to the south part of Querétaro. So the south part of Querétaro right now is the closest to Centro. Like, and with the way or road pathways of arriving there, avoiding that much traffic. So that looks something around that area, and just stay away of Cinco de Febrero. That's my only advice.
In a couple of years, it's probably going to be pretty great. They'll probably widen
Yeah,
the
it's
road
gonna
and
be
the traffic
amazing.
will flow smoothly. But
But
until that's finished, it's going to be a nightmare.
it is. Actually, it is. So
Radzoso, thanks for the super chat. Negative comments are really about the commenter. It's projection. I think a lot of times that's right. Laura says, just caught here. What's the big news? The big news is she doesn't need surgery. We made it to, long story very short, we made a trip to the US using some new technology, got some new orthotics like an injection and new shoes. And it basically cured her. Or, well, she's on the path to being cured at least. And Vincent, thanks for the $5 super chat. I'll look for a comment from you since there's nothing, no comment there. And Mr. Simon again with a super chat. Here for you guys. Have a cold one this weekend. It's on me. Thanks for all your videos. I enjoy every single video that you guys make. AMC to the moon. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Chris asks, are you guys going to do Vegas videos or are you done? No, we'll be making more videos there for sure. Like, there's some of the most popular videos on the channel and I enjoy going there. Mr. Irrelevant says the traffic was insane last week. Bernal was amazing. And you know what? Because that road is having closures and they're tearing down bridges and stuff, it's rerouting traffic to all these other roads. So even roads that aren't even close to that road are getting filled up with traffic. So like the traffic is becoming worse in other parts of the city because of the construction on this one major road.
So basically we're having traffic 24/7. So it's a nightmare, because, for example, at my job, like talking about my job, it's a huge problem because all my patients are arriving late. So it was like, oh, it took me, they're all the time telling me like, oh, it took me 45 minutes to an hour to arrive here, when in the past, like 2 months ago, it took me like 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Crazy.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse.
Laura says, woohoo, I'm so happy for you, Maya.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
news. Yeah, it's so great. Especially after finding out this was going to be a year recovery for the surgery. Whew. Being from Minnesota, are you a Vikings fan? Yes, I am. What do you think about their 6-1 start, Super Bowl year? Honestly, I haven't been following it yet. But now that I know that, I'm going to have to. Because, oh my gosh, when was the last time they were in a Super Bowl? It's been forever.
You can talk about
Brad says, Jordan, how many times have you heard people say you look like Michael Cera? I mean, when I have my hair like this, it happens a lot more. One time I was in a restaurant and this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, it's so good to meet you. Like, or something like that. Really happy to meet you. I loved you in Superbad. He was joking, but that's how much he thought I looked like Michael Cera. Yeah, I've heard it many times. Marcel says, "You better marry this girl. She's so sweet. She is a sweetheart." I'm just scrolling, looking for some new questions here. Do you guys ever do local meetups in Querétaro? That's not something we've done yet, but I'm not opposed to it. Miguel says, "I liked you in Superbad." That was a pretty. I enjoyed that movie. Have you seen This Is the End? Michael Cera was great in that. No, I haven't. I don't think I've seen that movie yet. Did you do an altar for Dia de Muertos? No, we didn't because we were gone. We weren't home. We made a trip to the U.S. For Mice Foot, so we were gone that whole time. Paris, good to see you here. She says, "Hi, favorite couple."
Hi, Paris.
You went to get candy?
Yes.
Oh, God. I have a funny story for you. So she calls this candy. Like it's elderberry gummies with vitamin C and zinc. But anyway, so we're in California, and every time I go to the US, I buy some things that I can't get here, or at least have trouble finding here. And one of those things, we went to Target and I bought some Ricola cough drops. So I got those along with licorice and some vitamins and some teas and some other stuff. And one day we're at the place where we're staying in California, and Mai tells me, she's like, "That candy you got is terrible." And then I go closer to her and I'm like, "What candy?" Because I had licorice in there and I knew she doesn't like licorice. But then I can smell the Ricola cough drop coming from her mouth. And I'm like, "That's not candy." Those are cough drops. But the funny thing is, or at least I find this funny, is that in Mexico, well, in the US, they put cough drops in the medicine section in the stores. Here, cough drops, like for example, Halls are a very popular brand.
Those are candies.
They're in the candy section here. So she's calling these
Those
candies.
are candies for brave people. It's like you want to wake up, you want your brain to freeze, you get those candies. So anyway, can you give me the other candies, please? Por favor.
Paris says, "Oh my God, he does look like the Superman dude, LOL." And then Janet says, "You may look like him, but you're better looking than him."
Give me a candies.
You want?
Just one.
You just had one.
You told me to take two.
And I'm pretty sure you had one this morning.
No.
We need a better child-proof cap on this so she can't eat them whenever she wants.
I just got one right now. Oh no, I want to take it. That's rude. No. You can eat that. Okay, you can take it.
Don't be thanks for the super chat. Dijo Mai. Ricola sabe a cola.
This is like gas. It doesn't, but it's not that something I'm gonna eat every day. I think.
Malaya says, "My, did you show Jordan the photo edit I sent you on Instagram?" No, I haven't seen this.
No, I didn't. Sorry, but I'm gonna send it to him. It was super cute. I loved it.
Okay.
She did a great job.
Al asks, "Have you ever thought about selling Tangerine Travels promotional items like T-shirts, coffee mugs, etc., to help raise money to buy your ex-partner out?" Um, I haven't because Tangerine Travels did that in the past, and it was one of those things that turned out to be a lot of work for. It just wasn't contributing much to the bottom line because it was like only making a few dollars from each item, even though I didn't want to raise the prices any higher, and then there would be returns which would like detract or like take away the profits of four other items, and it just made almost no money. So that's basically the reason, and it was that, and it was a lot of work. Michael says those elderberry gummies are delicious.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's why I was telling him. It's like they taste absolutely delicious. So they're not super sweet. Second, they're super healthy. I mean, if you're getting sick, you eat that and it's gonna help you a lot. So what's better than having a candy than having an extra benefit? Oh, like
she's putting her arm like into me.
cover your belly.
I can't. It's so big now.
This is a family hour. You don't show skin. So anyway. What I was saying, yeah, those are the best candies ever.
Annabelle's laughing about the Ricola. Ricola. Ricolas are the best. LOL. Leticia's dying over here. That's funny. Jordan, can you grow out a full beard? No, no, I can't. Even like up until the time I was 30, it looked like my facial hair looked like that of a 16-year-old. Now it's a little bit thicker, but still it's like not very thick.
Paris is asking for my Instagram account.
Okay.
That I never ever remember it. So I will have to take.
We'll put her Instagram account here.
Aw, the baby dog. Anyway.
Okay. FT my Perez. Okay, I'm putting both of our Instagrams in the chat here, so you can follow her and me too if you want to, but I need to post on there more often. I said often.
Guess what? He's starting to mix Spanish and English. That's amazing. So it's like normally he used to speak just English, and right now he's mixing Spanish and English in a very funny way.
What did I say earlier today? There was some bad word in there.
Oh, it was not a bad word. We were going out for breakfast, and he said something like
no, it was a bad word in English.
It was not a bad word.
I said donde the F.
Yeah, donde the F, yeah, because we were going through Empedrado. How do you say that?
Oh, like a cobblestone street.
And they put tope.
Oh yeah, I was like.
And it was like we were talking about like by common sense you cannot speed up if you're going to Empedrados. So he said like, donde the like I don't remember, but anyway.
Or porque the
Porque
F.
the F
half of
like,
it was in half of it was in Spanish, but then
half
the
of
cuss
it
word
was
was
in
in English.
Spanish and half of it was in English, and it was perfectly correct. But he just do it like without thinking much about it, and it was like Mexico win.
David says, elderberry gummies, read the label. They're very strong. Only take 2 per day.
I just took 2.
Have you ever been to Apan Hidalgo?
No,
I have not.
But I love Hidalgo.
I've loved what I've seen of Hidalgo. I'd like to see more of it.
Vamos a Hidalgo otra vez, por favor.
Richard says a video of you guys slapping each other with the tortillas was hilarious. That was pretty funny. In fact, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll post the link to that video here because there was nothing about tortilla slapping in the title or thumbnail, so you would never know that was in the end of the video unless you watched the end of it. But it was this video, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it was this video.
By the way, you would like us to make a second part of this video, let us know.
And this is the video, like things my gringo boyfriend does that are super weird to me as a Mexican woman. So like part 2 would probably be the opposite of that. Things she does that are super weird to
I
me.
don't do weird things.
And the things you said in that video weren't weird to me either. So The Edge of Oblivious says that was a cute video. It was fun. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked by this.
This?
Yeah, Aaron Carter.
Was he from NSYNC?
No, he was the brother of Nick Carter, the guy from Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up listening to his songs, so it was like
I didn't know he passed away.
today.
Here's one for you.
Saludos de San Francisco, California, vato de Guadalajara viviendo en California, pensando seriamente en irme a México. Vente. There's no better place than Mexico.
Will you say that in English? So
It's like, come here. The whole thing.
yes, just so people
He's
know.
just saying hi. He's living in San Francisco, California, and he's from Guadalajara, living there, and he's thinking seriously to come back to Mexico. So yeah, I'm just cheering up here. Like, do it. If you want to do it, do it.
Andy Flores says no YouTubers have shown Atlantes de Tula Hidalgo. Have you ever seen that? I don't know that.
We
what that
went
is.
there. We went there, but we didn't enter. We were at the outside part of the park, but it was super hot that day. We were with Laska.
Oh yeah, and Laska
so
couldn't
we
go
decided
in. So
Laska can't go in.
So those were ruins, ancient ruins in Tula.
Yeah. So we decided not to stay because that day the weather was horrible. And like leaving Laska inside of the car for I don't know how much time was definitely not an option. So we left.
Laura says, did you know there's a travel agency called Tangerine Travel? I discovered they are clients of my husband's company. I thought you had signed up for data services for a second.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
funny. I actually did know that. And now that you mention it, like a year ago, I remember seeing that I got an email from Tangerine Travel saying, hey, we thought it was, I forget what it said, but something like, we thought it was funny that like our names are like exactly the same. Maybe there's some collaboration opportunity there. And now that you left this comment, I'm like, oh shit, I received that email like a year ago and I never replied.
It's never too late, love. It's never too late.
So maybe I should go dig that up. It's just that I get so many emails, I can only ever reply to a tiny percentage of them. When is the next Vegas video?
Next year.
Honestly, I've always wanted to go to Vegas during Christmas time. I think Mai would kill me. So, I mean, I would love for it to be around Christmas time, but this isn't something I've brought up to her.
Don't do it.
Speaking of Christmas, we were talking about the different customs between here and in the US. And I was telling her how in the US, the Christmas presents are generally opened on Christmas Day, and most people celebrate it on Christmas Day, and then everything will be closed on Christmas Day. And something they do there that they don't do here is stockings.
We should do
stockings above the
We
fireplace.
should do a Blockmas.
Vlogmas? What's that?
I've saw this
Oh,
once.
Vlogmas.
Vlogmas.
Oh, where you post a video every single day.
Right before
For-
Christmas. It will be funny. I mean, we were talking about that, and honestly, I don't want to talk much about that right now
Yeah.
because that might be super interesting. But yesterday, we discovered that actually we had a lot of differences celebrating Christmas. So I think it will be nice to make a video, like sharing those whole difference, because I was so shocked with so many things that he told me, and I was like, I thought it was the same, but in the end, I discovered that no, actually, it's not. So this is
That
gonna
she-
be funny.
she really wanted to get stockings after I told her about that tradition. But yeah, there's a lot of YouTube channels every year that they'll do something called Vlogmas, where they post a video every single day in December. So I'd have to figure some things out with editors because
Maybe just something short. I mean,
yeah, it
a lo
could be
mejor
short.
it not like a 12-minute video because everybody's going to say like, okay, go to hell. But we can maybe do something really small, and it doesn't have to be like every day in December. Maybe just a week after, or at the time that, for example, we start with the posada season.
Uh-huh.
So that might be really cool because yeah, actually we have a lot of differences. And we still don't have a Christmas tree, by the way. But
She keeps pressuring me to get a Christmas tree.
because we need a Christmas tree.
But by the way, now that she doesn't need surgery, we could travel more.
And we're trying to figure out where are we going next.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so Guadalajara has something really cool they do during Dia de Muertos time, and it actually runs quite a ways into November. So we were talking about going to Guadalajara to do that thing. Do you remember
Mhm.
what it's called?
Calaverandia.
Calaverandia.
So hard
Okay.
to pronounce. But it's like, how do you call it? Like a parque temático, like
A theme park.
a theme park of Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
But it's huge. So
And I've been
since
wanting to go. It didn't exist when I lived in
always wanted
Guadalajara.
to go. I always want because it's kind of new.
Mhm.
And as I told you before, I love Dia de los Muertos. So when I knew that this part was opening just once per year, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go there. And I told him like 5 months ago, I would love to go there. And he was like, eh. But when he saw a video, he was like, oh, look, Mike, we should go here. And I was like, I told you. But anyway, we're seriously thinking on going there.
And then
But we still
today,
don't know.
she's like, let's go to Valquirico. And as it turns out, Valquirico is in this place that doesn't exist, Tlaxcala. It's a joke amongst Mexicans. But this town is super interesting because it looks like a town from medieval times in Mexico. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mai, are you cooking for Thanksgiving? I told him that I wanted to do that. Like doing a Thanksgiving dinner and me cooking. Of course, it's going to be a huge mess. But it will mean I'm going to finish. I'm going to end going for Costco and buying pizzas and hot dogs. But anyway, that will be a lot of fun.
Does Mai have any interest in traveling outside of Mexico?
Yes.
You want to go to?
I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Thailand. I forgot name. Punta Cana. Canada again. I would like to go to so many places in the US. I would like to go to Japan, and South Korea. I want to go
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Paris, as my dumbass, was going to ask if Mexicans celebrate Thanksgiving.
We don't, but we can do it.
Yeah, if you want to like find a restaurant with a Thanksgiving dinner, you really have to search around. Good looking, says Paris. Oh, that's funny. Uh, any chance of her doing it in Espanol?
What?
Videos?
Videos?
Maybe talking about Vlogmas?
Actually, once at my Instagram, I posted a story and I asked, like, what do you think about me speaking in English, like in Spanish, sorry, instead of me speaking in English all the time, what if I start speaking in Spanish more? And also, like, what if we try sometimes to make some videos with more Spanish than English? Of course, all the time with the captions on.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people started sending me message like, don't do that, don't try to change the soul of the Tangerine Travels channel. I was like, no, I'm not trying to do anything, I'm just asking. So people don't take it like in a very good way. That's why I was like, okay, I don't want to do, I'm not going to do that. That's why. But that's why we keep like saying everything in like talking in English. For me right now, I feel more comfortable, and I think I'm improving my English because the very beginning I was like, uh, "Hello, ¿cómo te llamas?" and things like that, and I couldn't speak in front of the camera. Right now, I'm feeling more comfortable, but it's not easy.
Yeah, like we did that interview video in Spanish, and like when I was talking to people, all the Spanish I knew just disappeared from my head. So that's probably how you felt.
Told you that happened.
So, by the way, we started a Tangerine Travels Espanol channel that I just posted the link to in the comments. So, if you're not subscribed to that, go over there and subscribe because we might be doing some Spanish videos over there. For now, all that's on there is like basically the videos from Tangerine Travels repurposed for a Spanish speaking audience. So, the titles are in Spanish, the thumbnails are in Spanish, the description is in Spanish, and there's Spanish subtitles in burnt into the entire video. So, but yeah, if we want to do Spanish videos, they'll probably be posted over there. So go check it out.
Maybe next travel video to Guadalajara should be in Puerta de Hierro, Zapopan, Jalisco, and compare home prices and see houses for sale there, then go to Plaza Andares, and show us the food there. Let's do it.
And thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I was just looking for hotels there actually today, and I have some Hyatt points, and the Hyatt Regency in next to Andares is a super nice hotel, and it's pretty expensive. Like for the days I was looking at, it was $300 a night, but it doesn't cost a lot of Hyatt points. It's only 8,000 Hyatt points per night. So I was like, oh, I really want to stay there. Can you purchase turkeys in Mexico? Yes, you can. Pablo?
Yes, in Costco. Actually, all grocery stores.
I had to rewind the video quick. I thought Mai said she wanted to go to Iowa, not Ireland.
I want to go to Iowa too. No problem.
Honestly, there's not much to see in Iowa. I grew up pretty close to there, and I've driven across all of Iowa, all of Nebraska. Like in these states, it's almost nothing but farming. There's just mile after mile of farms. There's not even any hills. Like there's not much to see.
I don't need much to be amazed. I just need something different. And trust me, you never know with that. Even the most smallest and simple things can make me feel super amazed. So I don't think that's a problem. I'm not joking when I said I want to meet Iowa. At least I'm gonna have my own opinion
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
So
that's
it's like,
true. Oh, and it's Chris in North Dakota. I grew up right on the border of North Dakota, so I'm pretty familiar with that area. Jackie says, "How'd you like the sprinkle cupcake?" That's something else she's been
yeah.
dying to do. So while we were in California, we went to Sprinkles Cupcakes.
And it was super good. I bought a double chocolate cupcake, and it was really good, but nothing extraordinary.
Uh-huh.
But he had one with a
Peanut
peanut
butter. It
butter.
was like when
It
you
was
said peanut butter cups on the top,
uh-huh,
and then like peanut butter in the middle.
like a seasoned
Oh,
cupcake,
yeah, it was a
and that
season.
one was like, oh my gosh, what extraordinary! I really, really love it because it has that salty flavor of the peanut butter, and I actually love that combination. I mean, it's like caramel and chocolate and salt. It's like, oh, my perfect combo.
I loved it. Noah says I live in Iowa. We can come see you.
Wow.
Nomizi, thanks for the super chat. Un pavo con mole estilo potosino.
Estilo potosino. How's
I've
that?
never
Oh,
had
I've
that.
never had that actually.
No, Jordan, Ragbri is in Iowa, the most epic bicycle trip in the USA. Yeah, Iowa has that. I can't argue with that. Jordan, you must have heard the expression that in some of those areas there's nothing for miles and miles, but miles and miles. Yeah, that's very true. Oh gosh, I remember driving across. Well, I grew up in Minnesota, went to college in Arizona, and when the semester was done, I would go home. So I would make the 27-hour drive each way, and I I went from the northeast corner of Iowa to the southwest corner, if I remember right, and then through all of Nebraska. And that entire drive, there was like nothing to see. For like 8 hours straight, there was absolutely nothing. Jordan missed Iowa completely. You owe us a vlog. Where'd you grow up in Minnesota? Moorhead, right next to Fargo. So yeah, right in your neck of the woods. Hey buddy, what's up, man? I finally get to see the wife.
No wife.
Oh my god, did I miss the update? What is it? So, for the past few months, we thought she was going to need a major foot surgery, but the huge update is that, well, the short version of the story, if you want the long version, you can go back to the beginning of this video. The short version is that we took a trip to the US, saw a new doctor there, and he fixed her without surgery. So, yay, no surgery. And now it allows us to travel more again because, like, I mean, it was really limiting her not being able to walk hardly. Like, walking for more than a few minutes would cause a lot of pain. Belinda Leisure says, "Where in California did you go? Where in California did you go? When did you go? And what did you do that you didn't tell us?" We went to the Los Angeles area, and when did we go? Like a week and a half ago or something. We recently got back, and we did a few things there, but I think we're gonna put that in an upcoming video. Good old California medical tourism. Was it San Diego or no for that? No, it was Costa Mesa is where his office was. And if you're in the area and interested in a very good podiatrist who really knows what he's doing and doesn't charge an arm and a leg for his services, this is his website. I'll put it in the chat here. Whether you're in the LA area, the San Diego area, I think it's worth the drive to go see him.
He's amazing. He's not only an excellent podiatrist, he's an excellent person. So I think that's really important. If a doctor it's not an excellent person, but he's amazing.
Him and his wife were amazing. They
amazing.
were so generous with everything, and he did everything at his cost. So like there was no additional charge for her, which was great to help save some money, because it would have been a very expensive trip otherwise. With the price of the plane tickets, finding a hotel in the area, like full price doctor's visits, things like that, all those combined. But thanks to their generosity, it turned out to be not so expensive. Mai, have you tried American cereals like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Reese's Puff?
No.
You've probably tried Zucaritas.
Zucaritas, sí, but I think they taste different.
So I think it's the same exact cereal, but Zucaritas here are the same as Frosted Flakes in the US, but they're just branded differently.
But for example, Coke, it tastes different here, and it tastes different in the US.
There can be differences in the ingredients.
Yeah, so I think that they might be different as well. But I would love to try American cereals. I love trying new things.
They have some of them at HEB.
We should go there tomorrow.
Like one example is Life cereal. That's probably my favorite cereal of all time, and it's basically impossible to find here in Mexico. But I actually saw they had Life cereal at HEB.
What's the name?
Life. Yeah.
Vida?
Yeah. Chris says, Jordan, did you hear the speakeasy in Moorhead closed? No, I didn't. Mai, do a video of you trying American cereals. Something we wanted to do while we were in the States, but we didn't, is have her try Taco Bell and put that in a video. I think that'd be hilarious.
Luckily, that didn't happen this time. That's why I'm here alive.
That would be an amazing video. I wonder if this is talking about Taco Bell or the American cereals.
Or both.
What is your favorite taco shops in Mexico? I mean, I can't, for this question, I can't speak for the country as a whole. I mean, even talking about Queretaro, that's a really hard question.
Actually, I just remember about something, talking about cereal. There was a place at Centro. I don't know. I was going to check if that place is still alive. But anyway.
Still alive.
It was called the Cereal Bar.
Okay.
And it was basically a small place where you can go and you can find all the different kinds of cereal you can imagine. Like national cereals, imported cereals, the craziest cereals you'd ever seen.
That's such a random
you took your bowl and you just select, and
is it a restaurant where you go for breakfast, or is it a place where you go to buy cereals in bulk?
No, like restaurant. So you could go and, for example, have breakfast, and you put in your bowl. You select the size of your bowl, and you put the cereals you wanted. You could combine it. You were completely free to do whatever you want there. And if you didn't want to add milk, you could add ice cream or whatever you wanted. So that place was super cool because they had like all kind of cereals that you are mentioned. It's like, they had it there. And it was amazing. So I was about to check if that's still open, because it will be really interesting to go there if it's open. Yeah,
I've never heard of that place, but that sounds pretty unique. Oh, and about tacos.
Ah,
My favorite taco places in, I'll just talk about Querétaro. I love this place called Taco Naso. So many great varieties of meats they have there and all the different ways you can get your things prepared. It's pretty cool. Uh, that's a more expensive taco place, like where the tacos are about 25 pesos each. So a buck 25, we're talking US dollars. But like a cheaper taco place, there's this one we went to in a pretty recent video called La Chilaca.
oof.
There's another one that's called Tacos El Güero, I think, if I remember right, in the El Marquez area.
Still open. Good
It's called
news.
El Ring
Ah,
Cereal
cereal
Bar.
bar and still open.
Still alive.
So you want a video at the cereal bar? What do you think? Look at this. They have a lot of candies and products from the US. The decoration is really cool, actually.
Huh.
Look.
Yeah,
Berry berries Cheerios.
that'd be interesting to see.
Blueberry Cheerios. Like all the varieties of Cheerios. Chocolate peanut butter Cheerios. Oof.
Belmeezy, thanks for the super chat.
Dunkin' caramel macchiato. Okay.
He says, good thing about Taco Bell, it gives you free gas. And
You can bring me a taco.
free gas is super important these days. That stuff is getting expensive. What do you?
Give me a taco.
A taco? Ooh, also the tacos we had. If you search on Google Maps for tacos de copete, I think we have a couple left in the fridge because we went there recently.
Yeah. We still have
Those are really
those.
good too.
Peanut butter and jelly. Na, na, na,
Tyshawn, thanks for the super chat. Hi,
Thanks.
Mai. I'm happy your foot is better. I'm so happy your foot is better too.
Ho ho.
Okay.
Dang, 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 dang. We are invited to a wedding.
Benny says, I'm getting married in Querétaro in May. You two should come. Lots of food and dancing.
I love chicken wings.
Yeah,
This
that's
got so excited.
okay. Now we have to start dance lessons.
You have to start stop lessons.
Jordan, do you still watch your Yotes? Speaking of the Arizona Coyotes, I haven't seen a game yet this year. Not because I don't want to; I really want to. But the only way I can see the games here is through this service called Star Plus, and Star Plus will not accept my foreign credit cards, and I don't have any Mexican cards yet. So either I have to convince someone to let me use her card, which I haven't asked her yet,
My car? Why?
to pay for this service where I can watch my hockey games.
How much is it?
I forget.
You can do it.
I mean, I'd pay you that, and I'd pay you back in cash.
Do it.
Or
Do
kisses.
it. Be happy. Do it. Mm,
Mai, what did your treatment involve at the podiatrist office? Well, there was an exam, of course.
mhm. I got an injection.
An injection of
inside
cortisone.
Or cortisone and lidocaine.
So
Yeah.
that was both a diagnostic tool and like helping everything fix itself, because he said that it will promote healing. But also, he created custom orthotics for you in a way that you've never had done here.
And he recommended me a very specific kind of shoes.
So basically, it was exam, MRI, a cortisone injection, new orthotics, and a very specific kind of shoe.
So these are my new shoes. And no, I'm not so sponsored by the brand. Anyway. Why do I have to use a specific kind of shoes? Because these are kind of stabilization shoes. Why stabilization shoes? Because if you try to bend them, you practically cannot do it. So most of the time when you do this movement, they
Or if you
like
move them back and forth like this,
yeah,
like,
they're like
but
they just like
sorry, yeah,
I don't
they're
know.
very
They're
flexible.
very flexible, but in this case, these are not. It's super hard. You can just like
There's
modify its shape a little bit from
basically the toe of the
the
shoe.
toe of the shoe, but the arch and the back part of the shoe cannot be modified, no matter the surface you're walking in. And also, it has a very strong structure
At the
at
heel.
the heel. Yeah. So basically, and it has like a very good support. And of course, inside, I'm having my new orthotics. So I have a flat foot. So that's why they must have the arch on it because my foot doesn't have it. And this shoe also had an internal arch. So basically, I'm loving these shoes. They are pretty comfortable. And exactly, and no matter the surface I'm walking in, I feel super stable. So I have to wear these shoes for the next 3 months, like 24/7.
Yeah, basically, if she's not showering or not sleeping, she has to
Yeah.
have these shoes on with this inside of it.
And that's all. If you have some food problems, we are not exactly telling you to buy this because sometimes I understand that it's not easy to afford for this kind of sneakers. But anyway, look for something like this that don't bend easily, that it's not super flexible when you try to do this, and also that when you're touching the back part of the shoe,
It doesn't
it
move.
doesn't move at all. So that's gonna give you a lot of support in your foot, and it's gonna be much easier to find balance when you're standing and when you're walking.
And by the way, this is the brand A6, and this is gel Cayano, and you got one of the gel Cayano 28s and one of the 29s. Um, but while we were in California, we went to the outlet stores, and the A6 store there in San Clemente, and they had a buy one get one free sale. So the shoes are $160 each, but since they were buy one get one free, they're uh, essentially half price. And then you can sign up for their loyalty program for free and get another 10% discount. And I saw on my American Express card that I had an offer that I could activate for another $15 off. So they ended up being not terribly expensive after all those discounts.
And Black Friday is coming.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Josavac, thanks for the $10 super chat and for being a channel member. Really appreciate that. Jordan, living in Arizona for a time, you know much about Puerto Penasco? Not nearly as much as I should. I went there on spring break once when I was in college, but that time involved a lot of alcohol and lots of eating tacos, and I don't know much about the place. And then traveling down, first driving into Mexico, the first night was spent in Puerto Penasco, but it was literally only a night. So no, I can't say I know much about that. I think we missed a super chat.
That one.
John says, dude, you need a haircut.
He's paying for it. I told him like I can cut your haircut. I can do that. And he was like, no, hell no. So I'm offering you that. It's like you don't have to go anywhere. You can just sit down, very comfortable here, have a whiskey, and enjoy
Since you
the
enjoy the
adventure.
hack job of the haircut. But since you sent $2, the equivalent of about 40 pesos, maybe I can go out and try to find a 40 peso haircut here.
I can do it for free.
Steve says, Jordan, check out Dollar app. Supposedly, you can get a credit card that is considered a Mexican credit card without having to get a Mexican bank account. Yeah, I'll I'll see if I can remember that and look that up after. Whereas Paris has another opinion. Jordan, this is my favorite hairstyle on you.
I can do mohawk, but you didn't want it. I was telling him I could do a mohawk. We can try that, but actually he didn't want it.
Patricia says Jordan looks like a chihuahua.
You look like a chihuahua. You look so cute.
Thank you. Malay, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. How does mail in Queretaro work? Also, is there a place online if I can check to see if medicines I take are available there? How does mail in Queretaro work? Mail in Mexico in general is different than in other parts of the country because people don't have a mailbox here. And
We do.
not really. I mean, mailboxes are pretty rare. And more often, if someone's delivering mail, they like deliver it to your door. Or like if you live in a gated community, they'll deliver it to the guard station.
Mm.
But like for example, in the US, there's going to be either a mailbox in front of each house, or if it's like a gated community, there will be one section where there's a bunch of mailboxes where they put all the mail. But the Mexican Postal Service isn't used much for mail delivery because they're known to be pretty unreliable. So most of the time for delivery, people are using like FedEx,
Mm-hmm.
DHL, UPS. Another couple popular ones are Estafeta, and there's one other one that's slipping my mind. But yeah, you can still order packages, but they'll be shipped by one of those companies typically, and they'll be delivered straight to your house.
But if you want to check if your medicine is available, you can check like some of the online stores of the pharmacies here.
But you're going to need to know the translation. So first look up the translation, like what is or the name of your medicine translated into Spanish, and then search for that. Like in one of the farmacias here, like on their website. For example, one of the popular ones is Farmacias Guadalajara. Or search on Google for like that medicine Mexico.
There's an app. I'm gonna write it there.
Okay.
Actually, it's called the Bademecum. I don't know if
Bademecum.
I don't know if that's the pronunciation, but anyway, there you can check like the active. I don't know how to say this, but the medicine,
the active ingredient,
the active ingredient, and you can check like the international equivalencias, like
equivalents,
international equivalents.
Okay.
So this is all about medicamentos.
Okay.
So take a look there. Maybe that can help you to figure out which of your medicine or the things you're taking. You can find it here. And if I can help you somehow, maybe you should like text me on Instagram or something like that, send me a message. And of course, I will help you with like searching for it or asking my doctor friends if we can get them here. And that's going to be much more easier.
Gordon asks, how fast is Amazon delivery down there? If it's in an Amazon warehouse in Mexico or an Amazon fulfillment center here, a lot of times you can get 1 or 2 day shipping. However, a lot of the products that you'll see on Amazon Mexico, or if you're buying from Amazon.com and it's coming from a fulfillment center in the US, well, then those are generally going to take about a week or so.
I got them for a little less, like
It varies.
It depends on the product,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Very much so. Free haircut is the best deal, Jordan. Yeah, I don't know. Someone who's never cut hair, though, that makes me nervous. Okay, I'll let you cut my hair if you let me cut your hair.
No.
I didn't think so.
You see, somebody said, "Let her cut your hair and make a video." I'm gonna be extra careful.
Okay, so it's like Maria, but with an L instead of the R. So Malia. Okay, thanks. That helps a lot. Malia.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
You see, free haircut is the best deal, children. Somebody told you that. Huh.
Well, I think I'm getting ready to call it a night. What do you think? Are you
Yeah.
okay wrapping up the stream, finishing it up?
Okay, let's do it. I'm having fun. Yeah, let's do it.
You want to stay on?
No. See
Okay.
you soon.
Okay. Thank you all for joining. Big shout out to all the channel members, everyone who sent super chats, and thank you for the Thank you to the moderators for helping to keep the chat clean, and for everyone else joining us and participating and asking questions.
And
Really
if you
appreciate it.
would like us to treat a very specific topic here at the live stream, feel free to let us know.
Yes, please do. Please let us know what topics you would like live streams on, and that'd be great for us. And maybe we can do it on one of those topics next time. Well, see you later. Have a good night, everyone.